give a talk on American Transcendentalism. American Transcendentalism is a philosophical and literary movement led by a group of prominent writers during 19th century. The word transcendentalism comes from the word transcend. To transcend means to go beyond the reality. So it is a philosophy of men's thinking, and in their thinking they go beyond the inner reality and outer reality in order to understand the ideas of God and other metaphysical things by sheer imagination and intuition. The Transcendentalist movement was a literary and also philosophical reaction against the 18th century rationalism. It was a manifestation of the general humanitarian trend of 19th century thought. It was opposite of that man needs the intercessor or intermediary for reaching the divine, and it was also critical of the established Catholic religion. Like the physical universe itself, all constructive and practical activity, all great literature or all forms of spiritual awareness were viewed as an expression of the divine spirit. The oft expressed ambition was to achieve the vivid perception of the divine as it operates in the common life. An awareness was seen as leading to a personal cultivation and to a sense of history as potentiality. Progressive movement. This movement was based on a fundamental belief that God and the world are one and the same. The soul of each individual was thought to be identical with the world, that is, a microcosm of the world itself. The doctrine of self-reliance and individualism was developed through this belief in the identification of the individual with the God. Transcendentalism was intimately connected with a place called Concord, a small New England, a village 32 kilometers away from the west of Boston. It was the first island settlement of the original Massachusetts Bay Colony. Surrounded by forest, it was and remained a place of perfect, peaceful town, and it's close enough to the Boston's lectures, bookstores, and colleges to be intensely cultivated, but far enough away to be serene. Concord was the first site of the first battle of the American Revolution, of which R.W. Emerson, in his poem Concord Hymn, writes the lines, "By the rude bridge that arched He fled their flag to April's breeze, unfurled. Here once the embattled farmers stood and fired the shot heard round the world. Concord was the first rural artist colony and the first place to offer a spiritual and cultural alternative to American materialism. It was a place of high-minded conversation and simple living. Emerson and Henry David Thoreau both had vegetable gardens. Emerson, who moved to Concord in 1834, and Thoreau, the most closely related with the town. The locale attracted other great writers like Nathaniel Hawthorne, Margaret Fuller, Ben John Alcott, and William Ellery Channing. This group led to the establishment of a club named Transcendental Club. The Transcendentalists published a quarterly magazine named The Dial, which lasted 4 years. It was first edited by Margaret Fuller and later by Emerson. Reform efforts engaged them as well as literature. A number of transcendentalists were almost abolitionists. Some were involved in experimental utopian communities such as nearby Brook Farm, described in Hawthorne's The Blithedale Romance, and Fruitland. Unlike many European groups, the Transcendentalists never issued a manifesto. They insisted on individual differences, on the unique viewpoint of the individual. American transcendental romanticists pushed radical individualism to its extreme. The American writers often saw themselves as lonely explorers outside the society and convention. The American hero, like Herman Melville's Captain Ahab, Mark Twain's Huck Finn, and Edgar Allan Poe's Arthur Gordon Pym, typically face risk or even certain destruction in their pursuit of metaphysical discovery. For the romantic American writer, nothing was given. Literary and social conventions, far from being helpful, were harmful also. There was tremendous pressure to discover and authenticate literary form, content, and voice, and all at the same time. It's clear from the many masterpieces produced in the 3 decades before the Civil War, that's between 1861 to 1865. The Brahmin poets, it's a group of poets which is closely related to the place of New England where transcendentalists also lived. These Brahmin poets, they are called also Boston Brahmins, came to be called like this. It's like giving a nickname. Supplied the most respected and genuinely cultivated literary arbiters of United States. Their lives fitted a pleasant pattern of wealth and leisure, directed with a strong New England work ethic and respect for learning. In an earlier Puritan age, the Boston Brahmins would have been ministers. In the 20th century, they often became professors at Harvard. Late in life, they sometimes became ambassadors or received honorary degrees from the European institutions. Most of them were educated in Europe or traveled widely. They were familiar with the ideas and books of Britain, France, and Germany, and also Italy and Spain. Having upper class background but democratic in sympathy, the Brahmin poets carried their genteel European oriented views to every section of the United States through public lectures at the 3,000 lyceums and in the pages of two influential Boston magazines, the North American Review and the Atlantic Review. The writings of these Brahmin poets like W.C. Bryant, H.W. Longfellow, J.R. Lowell, W.H. Holmes, and John Very fused the American and the European traditions and sought to create a continuity of the shared Atlantic experience. These scholar poets attempted to educate and elevate the general populace by introducing a new European dimension to American literature. Ironically, the overall effect was rather conservative. By insisting on European things and forms, they retarded the growth of distinct American consciousness. These were well-meaning men. Their conservative backgrounds blinded them to the daring innovativeness of Thoreau, Whitman, and Edgar Allan Poe. They were regarded as the pillars of genteel tradition that three generations of the American realists had to battle, partly because of their benign but blonde influence. It was almost 100 years before the distinctive American genius like that of Whitman, Melville, Thoreau, and Poe was generally recognized in the United States. Thank you.